Greetings and welcome to episode 246 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news and culture podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Enrique Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Moody. I don't know.
It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't forget it this time, and you know what that means.
Yeah, you actually said the thing that you're supposed to say. I mean, you say you're supposed to say. You started it. And
That is true.
it's all you.
I was so excited that we had another person on last week, Amy, and it was such a great episode. We scared him off already.
We didn't scare him off. If we were going to scare him off, we would have scared him off while we were playing Phasmophobia.
That is true. That is true. But yes, Foxes was an amazing person last week. It was so great having him on. We hope to have him on more further down the line, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, you just stuck with me and the glorious Amy Kate Alexander.
No mini movie podcast reunion tonight.
No, not tonight. No,
Not tonight.
not tonight. Remember those days, Amy, where we reviewed Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War? I think we reviewed something else. I can't fully remember.
I don't know if we did. You invited me on a couple of ones, like just normal ones, and you were like,
Yeah.
So what do you think of that news? And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Let me tell you about The Good Place. It's not a movie. I don't care.
That's true.
I remember once you made me watch the
I made you?
Well, you know when you because you did the trailers, right? So I watched the trailers that you mentioned, and there was the one with the Jungle Cruise ride movie from Disney World with the Rock
and Emily Blunt. Yeah,
yeah, and it was just like,
yeah. That trailer did not look good, and I think the second trailer didn't look any good either. And it was just like, oh god.
I think there was a Charlie's Angels reboot in there somewhere, like.
Yeah, and that came out. That's already out. That's the thing about it. Jungle Cruise has been. I think Jungle Cruise was meant to come out last year, but obviously the world decided to end, and so yeah.
Yeah. And some movie studios have adapted really well and been like, "Hey, watch this film at home," and other movie studios are like, "Only in cinemas."
Mm-hmm. Like I'm renting one or buying one tomorrow on Disney Plus called Raya and the Last Dragon. I can't wait for that movie. I think it looks really good.
Good. I'm glad. I've been playing.
But this isn't a movie podcast, Amy.
So I can't really comment. TV is something I have on while I'm eating and no other time.
See, mine is turned on.
Mine is turned on for the video games. Speaking of video games,
I know.
This is the Words About Games podcast. Every single week, we discuss news and announcements from around the games industry and gaming culture. And we just tell you when people are being shit.
And give you our opinions of them being shit.
We mix that in with a few game announcements. And then we call it a day. That's it. That's the formula.
That is true. That is the simple formula, ladies and gentlemen. What more do you want?
I have to curate the podcast very carefully. So Moody's mood. Like, if you imagine like this podcast as a video game, like there's like the minimum threshold where it's like I can't let Moody's mood go below this part of the bar. So I have to like curate it to just keep it just above the line.
So you're balancing in between the flow theory.
Exactly. That's why sometimes you'd be like, "Oh, that's weird. This news story is lower down than I would have expected," and it's like, "Cause it's a good one."
Yeah.
And it's after some of the shit ones.
So that means you're saying to me, this the Words About Games cast game has a running mechanic?
I hate you so much. And, I take everything back. I'm going to delete the alien story out of this podcast.
Yeah, this is why I'm already here. Forget the rest of the stories. It's the only reason why I'm here this week.
Don't cross me.
And Pokemon.
Again.
I like the Pokemon announcement as well. So
don't cross me. This week's episode, we discussed the Sinking City devs, supposed to say devs, DMCing their own game on Steam, last week's State of Play, and Pokemon anniversary streams, and more. There's timestamps in the description below the video on YouTube, and also wherever you get your audio podcasts, you'll find timestamps that I'm assuming you can click on. Again, I say that every week. One day I'll check. One day. I'll actually open our podcast on Spotify and have a look.
One day.
But that day will not be this day. I'm tired. I finished my video. My retrospective video, and it's very tiring.
Fabulous.
To do it. And then they get Moody's feedback of just this one change, and it's like
Thing is,
looking at the timeline of like all of the chunks, just being okay, how do I move all of this around? Oh no.
Thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't finished the video yet, so there could be more.
I doubt it.
Oh, she's that sure, ladies and gentlemen. She's that sure. She's that confident. I respect it.
Well, I look forward to you watching the rest of the video, hopefully soon, so I can actually publish it.
Be tonight.
Even better. I hate what it's funny. Like I like obviously getting feedback, right? And I'll send I'll publish videos, right? And like people also send me messages. Like usually people that don't send me nice messages. Random strangers on the internet will send me less nice messages, but we don't care about them. And it's like it's cool to give feedback for people. Be like, hey, this was cool, you know. Hey, this was fun. Hey, I bought this game because you recommended it on your podcast. Stuff like that. But like, if we were in the same room, right, and you were like, I'm gonna watch the video to give feedback on it, I'd be like, cool. I'm gonna go in another room because I can't be in the same room as somebody watching something I've made.
I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that.
Like I just can't. It's not.
Like that's the thing. What I'm more scared about when it comes to hopefully one day my first game that I release with the studio I'm going to be hopefully working for and everything, and I'm just going to be like, oh god, I hope I curate this good enough so they are not complaining about any bugs or anything like that. Please, God, and also please enjoy the game. I want to be a nervous wreck that day when that happens. I'm just going to be like, I won't be sleeping that night at all, and I know I won't.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll make sure to play it when you're sitting right next to me, and make loud comments about it as I'm going through it. Like,
I don't think I could watch you play it.
Yeah,
I don't
right?
know. That's gonna be interesting. That.
No, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like me. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, I'll watch your video," I'll be like, "Cool, I'll leave the room."
Yeah.
I just do.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to see how that experience is for me. I'll see how it is. I'll probably go along with it for the first one and just say, I trust her. She's a great person. She's straight to the point and everything like that. Just turns the screen on. Moody just sucks, man. I'm like, what? You haven't even played it.
Oh, you chose this start menu music? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was gonna be. I'm out.
Oh, this is pixel art. Oh god.
You know I like the Persona art, Moody. Come on, man.
Come on. This isn't photorealistic. What the hell?
Oh god.
Oh, this voice
Moody,
acting.
it doesn't look like there's anything rude in this game at all. You're meant to offend a certain people out of this. What's going on? It's like you curate this properly. Why am I not unhappy here? Like
Found a bug.
Like, wait, you complaining because I did my job? Yes, because I don't have something to complain about.
There's no run button in this game.
I'll be like, I told them. They wouldn't listen to me but hear me.
Speaking of getting straight to the point, I've hit record. We should probably just do the thing, and I'll just say the thing where it's like, we had a whole thing about the Nacon versus Frogwares lawsuits and DMCAs, and I read the story, and neither of us really understood it, and we had to read it. Like, it was shit.
It was shit.
It was
that's
shit.
right.
Like, our segment on that was fucking awful.
It really
So I've
was.
deleted it. And we're going to skip. So the podcast is going to skip straight to the Switch Pro discussion, where we mostly talk about Elden Ring.
Yeah. What's wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen? Switch Pro.
Are we any good at this?
Really? Not really.
Yeah.
Let's continue it, Amy. Let's continue.
Shit. Report. New Nintendo Switch model planned with bigger OLED screen, 4K output. This is from Nicole Carpenter over at Polygon. He writes, Bloomberg published a report Wednesday with new details on the long-rumoured, new, more powerful Nintendo Switch model, dubbed the Nintendo Switch Pro by fans and players. The outlet first reported on the upgraded model of the Nintendo Switch in 2020, though reports have circulated for years. According to the report, Samsung will soon begin production on 7-inch 720p resolution OLED panels for the device. The new Nintendo Switch model will also ship with 4K ultra-high definition graphics when paired with TVs. Bloomberg sources said. Nintendo and Samsung declined to comment on Bloomberg's report. Nintendo has repeatedly denied existence of the so-called Nintendo Switch Pro. Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser told Polygon in December that the company is always looking at how Nintendo can improve the gameplay experience, whether on the current platform or a future platform. Bowser also told Polygon that the Nintendo Switch is at the midpoint of this life cycle. In February, during an earnings call, Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa said Nintendo would not be announcing an upgraded Nintendo Switch model anytime soon. That February, just so everybody knows, was 5 days ago.
Yes, it was. This has been a report. This has been a rumor that's been going on, like it says in the article, for years now, basically.
For about 5 minutes after Nintendo Switch launched.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, everyone was just like, oh, just imagine if this was this, though.
What
if
if
just like, wait, guys,
the
thing just came out. And then when they released a model called the Nintendo Lite, they were like,
yeah, everybody was like, new console. It was like, it's the Switch Lite. And it's like, well, that makes sense because like having a companion handheld only Switch makes a lot of sense.
So let's see. So you got the Nintendo Switch, you got the Nintendo Switch Lite. So what's the Pro gonna be? The
Lite.
Pro.
I saw that on Twitter. I stole it from someone.
What, Nintendo Switch Lite?
No, Nintendo Switch Plite.
Oh, Plite.
Plite. Oh, that was funny.
Silly. Okay.
Wasn't my joke. I stole it. I don't
know. You had to beat that.
This is like the whole fucking thing with, right, Elden Ring. I'm bringing Elden Ring up, right? Like, Elden Ring rumors went fucking berserk at the beginning of the week because Jason Schreier was like, oh, Elden Ring, you're going to see something of it very soon. And then everybody went, well, Microsoft's going to do something in March. Therefore, it is 100% absolutely certain that we'll see an Elden Ring trailer at a Microsoft event in March. And then Aaron Greenberg had to be like, well, hold your horses. Like, nothing like that is happening. Like, does Elden Ring exist? Yes. Will we see something of it soon? Yes. On the flip side, does this Nintendo Switch Pro exist? Yes. Is it going to be a thing that's going to be announced at some point in the future? Yes. Does that mean it's going to be like next fucking week or something? No. And I'm getting sick of people just grabbing like some thing and just flying off in a certain direction and being like, it's happening! And then I have to fucking sift through Twitter while everybody's like, I'm so disappointed Nintendo didn't announce the Switch Pro when I thought they were going to based on nothing. It's the same with Elden Ring.
Because I had no basis of this, it had to be true. That's how factually awesome I am, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, it's people are crazy. That's just fanboys and fan gamers are nuts.
We discussed Elden Ring for a grand total of about 13 seconds last week. I mentioned the state of play was happening. Fox has said, ooh, do you think we'll see Elden Ring? And I said, no, it was announced at Microsoft. There'll be no way to the state of play. And we kind of went, yeah, that makes sense.
We all agreed.
I still saw people predicting that Elden Ring would be at the state of play, anticipating that Elden Ring would be at the state of play, and then being disappointed when Elden Ring wasn't at the state of play. And it's just like, at some point, you're just playing yourselves here. And I feel like it's, and I know we've been talking about Elden Ring for most of this. And if you, this might be jarring because I think I am just going to delete the first part of the podcast and just cut to this discussion. So you just get me shouting about Elden Ring when I'm supposed to be talking about Nintendo. But it's the same basic principle here, where it's like the Switch Pro has been rumored for ages. It's been willed into existence with no evidence because people have basically just gone, yeah, this seems like it's probably going to happen at some point.
It's the Snyder Cut. It's the fucking Snyder Cut. What comes out, I think, next week? It's the flipping Snyder Cut. Oh my goody aunt.
Like, oh, Switch Pro makes a lot of sense. It does. But not right now. Switch isn't slowing down. When Switch slows down, they'll start talking about a Switch Pro. It's not coming out at the end of this yet.
Might be announced at the end of the year to come out maybe early next year. That's how they did it when they released the other ones.
Maybe.
So
You got Breath of the Wild 2 and the Pokemon game we'll talk about later, coming out in 2022. Like, yeah,
Pokemon game's coming out this year.
And yeah, I did just delay Breath of the Wild 2, fanboys, sue me. Like,
no, Breath of the Wild 2 is not coming out this year.
Like, if they could just launch a Switch Pro in March 2022 with Breath of the Wild 2, and then their sales will shoot through the roof again.
That's it. Yeah. You've nailed it right there, I think we all know this is coming. And what was the thing that was one of their biggest sellers right off the bat? Obviously, because it was the only game that came out with the Switch, yes. But Breath of the Wild 1 sold incredibly well.
You got 1-2 Switch as well.
I'm not even I never played it, so I can't comment on that. But you know what? Yeah, that's the thing. They saw a winning formula, and this is a winning formula that they'll always do again. It's the perfect combination. It really is, and yeah, like eventually it's going to get announced, ladies and gentlemen. We know they are. Nintendo will announce it when they are ready to announce it, not when you are ready or wanting it to be announced. Like, I've said multiple times in my life, especially the last few years, I want a Dino Crisis remake. It will probably never happen because Capcom hate me. But it's probably never going to honestly happen, even if they didn't hate me, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm okay with that. I'm not really, but I'm okay. But no,
there's things you have to learn to live with, right?
Yeah. Like I learned to live with a Halo 1, 2, and 3 didn't have a run mechanic.
Fucking when we move in together, I'm gonna beat you with this microphone. And I know I can't.
I'm never going to say it then, though. That's the thing about it. I know I'm never going to say it then. So I'm getting it all out of myself now.
Because when I beat you with this microphone, I'll just take yours. It's the same microphone. Yeah, no. So, like, I don't know. Maybe this is just a larger discussion about the way, like, not even rumors, because these aren't because like a lot of stuff we're talking about isn't even rumors. Just the way these things perpetuate themselves, like born from nothing, and then people complain about a thing that didn't exist in the first place or wasn't going to happen in the first place.
And also, one more thing: don't flip and complain if the 4-7 seconds of a trailer that is shot on a phone looks like shit.
Yeah, it's a good
I haven't even seen it, but I've seen many people say it looks like shit. Of course, it looks like shit. It's on a fucking phone, you idiots! Come on. Wait until they are ready to reveal the trailer. Then it'll look as beautiful as it wants.
Here's an idea. Don't fucking watch it.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Like,
it's not worth it.
You know, it's like you watch it on a bit of it recorded on someone's phone, or you can just wait until they release the actual like 4K trailer. Maybe just do that instead.
Just a little bit.
There's a reason there's not an Elden Ring news story specifically in this week's podcast, just saying. Because it's a non-event. As far as the actual like rumors of what the Switch Pro is going to be, 4K Ultra HD graphics. I think we talked about the Switch Pro before, speculated about it and said that, it's going to have 4K because kind of asked you.
Every other thing is having 4K. Like people would complain like hell if it didn't have 4K.
TVs and monitors that are 4K are so ubiquitous at this point that it has to. And I just imagine like those colorful Nintendo games and like crisp 4K. That would be very nice. And the 720p resolution on a 7-inch screen will look phenomenally good. I have seen the complaints. And people do not know how screens work. Is all I'm going to say at that. 720p on a screen that's about as that's like a little bit bigger than this. Trust me, it's going to look fine. That's like pixels per inch. That's like Retina display levels of quality and detail. You're not going to notice.
People barely notice now. They say they do, but they barely notice now, and we know they don't. You only notice that the Halo Infinite didn't look that great because when someone paused the bugger.
Well, that was character models as opposed to resolutions, but yes, I get the point. It depends how big the screen is. The bigger the screen is, the bigger the resolution you want. It's that simple. That's why cinemas have That's why cinemas have had 4K since fucking decades, because they're massive. Let's talk about everything announced in the State of Play that happened as we were recording this podcast.
Last week, yeah.
Timely announcements. This is from Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer. I'm just going to go through the list, though.
Yeah.
So first off, he talks about the games that weren't there. Great. Okay, so we started with Crash 4, coming to PS5. With 4K, 60 FPS gameplay, 3D audio, faster loading times, and reactive triggers. Alright, cool.
Looks beautiful, I'll give it that. It does look like a pretty game. I never played Crash 4 last year. Where hopefully, if I ever play Stage 5, I might get a chance.
The only time I ever played Crash Bandicoot was when I was playing Uncharted 4. That's it. I'm just going to say it. I had a PlayStation for JRPGs. That was what I got. JRPGs and horror games and Medal of Honor.
That was Amy's jam, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
No Metal Gear?
I didn't like it.
Did you not?
No, I had the demo discs, right? I had the demo discs for Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it.
That's fair.
And then I didn't properly own a PlayStation again until PS4, so...
That's fair.
I missed Metal Gear Solid. I played 5 and I enjoyed the shit out of it on PS4, but... You gotta remember, really, I was like a teenager when I had a PS1. So basically what I'm saying is all teenagers are idiots. So, you know.
That's right.
I mean, I defend my taste in games. It was great, but I did also skip a lot of games. For someone whose parent worked at Blockbuster Video, and I could just rent whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. I still skipped a ton of games.
Oh, Amy, what did you do?
I used a lot of rentals because I was watching Deep Space Nine on video. 2 episodes.
I can't argue with why she did that, ladies and gentlemen.
2 episodes at a time. She only had so many rentals a month.
That's true, and half of them were all on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
That's fair. Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek show. There's the facts are there.
Returnal had a trailer. I don't know, it looks cool, but
look good. I won't lie, I look good.
We're at I don't think you're really going to show me anything new stage of Returnal, so it's like it looks cool. Yeah. Can't wait to play it.
How long? It's soon, isn't it? What, April?
April 30th, I believe it is. I don't know why. Why did I was like, I'll look it up. And instead of typing Returnal into the search bar, I typed April 30th. But yes, it comes out on April 30th.
Nice.
I've been an idiot. Oh, look, right, that video, which was supposed to be like half an hour long, was 43 minutes long, all right? Give me a break. I had a lot of editing to do that. I didn't anticipate. Knockout City, which was also in the Nintendo Direct. We talked about that last week or the week before. I can't remember. It was the dodgeball game.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look great.
It's this
For me
year's
personally.
Rocket Arena, and I say that as the person who downloaded and played Rocket Arena when it was a PS Plus game and was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good," but also immediately forgettable. It looks fine.
So are we
Like-
getting 2 Rocket Arenas this year? Because it hasn't that car game completely just died.
I don't
like
know
a
what's
fart?
going on with Destruction All Stars.
Yeah.
I'm tempted just to boot it up because I've still got to install on my PS5 just to see like what the game matchmaking time's like. I don't know. Not like it looks. Not to say it looks like it's a fun game, but like whether it's anything that I'm particularly bothered about when it comes out, I don't know. I don't think so. Sifu though, the martial arts game from Slow Clap, that looked really cool.
Yeah.
Like one long game that is basically the corridor fight from Daredevil.
That's literally their
That's
their
it.
template what they went off. So they just they did a mind mapping, just went
Yeah.
Daredevil corridor cutscene.
Daredevil corridor.
How can we make this into a game?
No, like I played Absolvo, which is the last game by them, and that was like an open world fantasy game, but like you were a martial artist. So you collected like martial arts moves with cards and unlocked them, and you could like you put the so like if you imagine like each button push like in a fighting game where you do sequences where it's like X X X A X X X B X whatever, you know what I mean? But like you could set what each button did at each stage in each different type of combo with its own sort of kung fu move or martial arts move. It was really really hard to wrap your head around, but really cool, and it was really good. And it's like this is like a condensed, more focused sort of version of that, if that makes sense. So like they've taken like the big idea of Absolver and like focused it into Sifu. So I'm really excited. We got another trailer for Solar Ash.
Soul Ash looks so good.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. Yeah, it's a sexy game. It reminds me of Pathless
Pathless. You said it
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I?
You did.
Sounds like something I would say. Yeah, but it looks so good. Annapurna.
Annapurna Interactive.
I hear they're pretty good.
They're
not bad. It's
alright,
like,
you know, they're alright. It's sort of spotting these games and being like, we'll just publish you and we'll just publish you as well, and you look
they're
good.
not bad.
Hyperlight Drifter was a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't. Is it on PC? I wonder.
Yes.
Do you own it,
on
Amy?
PC. I do not own it on Steam.
Well, you suck, Amy.
I don't own a lot of games on Steam, really. I don't like Steam very much.
Well, your Steam library told me otherwise, Amy.
Those are review codes, Moody.
I'm gonna have a look at this.
Yeah, we can get through the next couple, I think. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is coming this year at PS4 and PS5.
I have no interest in Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's a cult following. It's like super successful and everything, but at the same time, I'm just like, meh.
Oddworld Soulstorm's coming on the 6th of April, and it's going to be a part of PlayStation Plus on PS5.
Damn, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Damn, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Because Maquette was a brand new PS5 game, and that was the PS Plus game this month. So now like if you get Destruction All Stars, between Destruction All Stars and then Maquette and then Oddworld, it's like you're getting a new release, like day and date on PS Plus every month, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, they're really smashing PlayStation Plus right now. They're doing a really kind of good job. Yeah, Oddworld. I'm very intrigued by Oddworld. I don't know if it's a game for me. The other one didn't speak to me at all, so I don't know if this one's going to really speak to me at all. But it looks good. It looks beautiful. I'll give it that. It's like the guys put a lot of work into it, him and his team and everything. So
like back in the day when it was a PlayStation 1 game, I never really got into it. Much like Oddworld. So I guess we'll see. Kena Bridge of Spirits is coming out on August 24th.
So good. I have to ask this. I'm gonna ask this. They haven't said it. Do you think they're gonna do this for PlayStation Plus as well?
Yes. I thought, because it was meant to come out in March, I thought it was going to be March's PlayStation Plus game. And that's why they hadn't announced them before the State of Play. Because they were going to be like, Kena, Breach of Spirits, boom, here's the trailer, boom, it's coming out on March, whatever, 2nd, 3rd, whatever.
Yeah.
Boom, it's a PS Plus game. And I would have lost my mind.
Because you got to think, ladies and gentlemen, it's probably Kena's. They've already probably broken least close to even already, just through their exclusive deal with Epic on PC. Epic would have paid a lot of money for that type of game. They always they like throwing a bit of the money out, and 9 times out of 10, it's 9. To what I'm hearing from people I've spoken in the Northeast and everything, it's in the industry, it's 9 times out of 10 just to cover the budget.
Yeah.
And everything else is just gravy for them and everything. Obviously, there's other parts in the contract and everything, but wow, yeah. I saw that and I was thinking, it's going to be August and it's going to be the PlayStation Plus one. They're just not going to announce it yet. They're going to wait until August and they're going to say, boom! And you're going to be like, because it looks so good. It really looks so pretty. I hope it's as good as it looks. Please be as good as you look.
Please.
Please, God.
Please. This year has been a really sputtering start, I feel. It's gotten off to a bit of a slow one. Yeah. There was another trailer for Deathloop with it's like everyone kept calling it like, oh, it's like a James Bond theme, and I was like, I mean, I guess like considering like James Bond themes have encompassed like every genre of music in the past 50 years. Like, I mean, yeah, you can kind of say that about a lot of things, but the Eurogamer article wrote, there's no release date for that yet, to which I was like, hang on. And I looked it up and I was like, there definitely is a release date for it. It's coming out on May 21st.
Yeah, sounds good. I was wondering why you put that note on there.
Because it wasn't in the article. The article was specifically like, it doesn't have a release date. I was like, I'm sure it does.
So Eurogamer's not even doing any research.
So I fact-checked Eurogamer.
Not even fact-checking Eurogamer. Come on.
The one last thing was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is coming out on the 10th of June 2021. It's a PS5 upgrade, which if you own Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4, you can get the free, which I do actually. I found it in my library. I was like, oh yeah, I bought it. You get the free PS5 upgrade with one important caveat, which we'll get to in a minute. And there's also going to be a new chapter featuring Yuffie, which seems to slot in at a certain part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake story, which tells me we're not getting the second part anytime soon.
I was just about to ask, what does that mean? What do you think of that for the part and everything like that?
Like, okay, new Final Fantasy VII Remake content, cool. Yuffie and everything about it is cool, but it in the back of my mind, I'm just like, fuck's sake, guys, it's been a year. It's been a year, and this is the first thing you announce about Final Fantasy VII Remake, some DLC that I could have lived without. I could have lived without this.
But you're going to buy.
100% I'm going to buy, yeah. Not only am I going to buy it, Marty, I'm going to use it as an excuse to replay the entire game.
You needed an excuse?
I need an excuse to do lots of things. Because
my
time is precious, right? But if you give me a half decent excuse, I'll definitely do something. Disco Elysium, the final cut, great excuse to replay that game again.
That's coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be this month.
Sweet. Square Enix are really in a bit of a pickle because they obviously we know Final Fantasy 16 is coming, and the rumors is that it's possibly next year. Well, so I think a lot of people are thinking maybe this year, but I think it's going to be next year.
The rumors are possibly this year.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have said Square Enix people have said it's a lot further along than we think it is.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 was in 2016. It's 5 years ago.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think a lot of people thought Final Fantasy 15 was a lot further along before it actually came
Final
out.
Fantasy 15 got rebooted like twice. At one point, Final Fantasy 15 was Final Fantasy 13 Versus. Like,
Yeah, that's
it
what
was
I
an
mean. Yeah,
entirely
yeah. I
different
forgot
game.
about that. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about. I was so hyped for that trailer when I saw it when it changed to Final Fantasy video. I went, "Oh my god, what does this mean?" I was like, "Wait." Then I just thought the next day, it doesn't actually mean. No, like they just changed it to Final Fantasy 15, Rudy.
They just,
But
yeah. Yeah, but
it's
like it doesn't normally take 10 years to make a Final Fantasy game. So
if Final Fantasy 16 comes out this year or
I'll
next
die.
year.
Of happiness.
Oh, okay, let's look at it. Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, whatever remake.
Can come out next year, in theory. Remember, they
It
are
depends
two
on
separate
like
teams.
it all depends on when Final Fantasy 16 comes out. I think it's next year. So if we go off if I say it's next year and it does come out next year, that tells me 2024,
Great.
maybe 2025.
I knew as soon as they said, "Oh, we're going to release it in episodes," I knew this was going to happen. Why'd the first one have to be so good?
Oh yeah, that doesn't give you hype for the second one at all, does it?
No, because by the time they get to the fucking end, I'm going to be like 90 years old.
Well, yeah.
And you and I both know I'm probably not going to live that long.
We don't know what's round the corner, Amy.
Ironic you would say that a year, considering where we were at exactly 1 year ago.
We were allowed outside then. Still then.
The one important caveat to the Final Fantasy VII Integrate is that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a PS Plus game this month, but you can't upgrade the PS Plus version
Oh,
to the PS5 for free.
come on, PlayStation, you gotta change that. That sucks. You don't.
I don't think that's a PlayStation decision.
Oh hell yeah, that's a PlayStation decision.
No, I think it's a Square Enix decision.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds exactly like Square Enix. Either way,
that's kind of shocking.
yeah. Well, everybody's kicking off. I didn't know this until like yesterday when I was researching something for the retrospective video. Like everybody's kicking off because you remember how Control, like the Ultimate Edition, the upgrade from last gen to this gen, was like there was a controversy around it because it wasn't going to be free and they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that, and then everybody's kicking off because Control Ultimate Edition was a PS Plus game, so a bunch of people rebought the game on next gen consoles, or like PS5, I guess, and they've just given it to everybody who's a PS Plus subscriber. Which I thought was it's like, wait, hang on, yeah, that's a good point actually. You just gave
I understand it's a good point. You're not wrong there and everything, but they're not going to tell you what their games are going to be for PlayStation Plus 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line. So they're not going to do that.
Oh no, still though.
So respawn, not respawn.
Respawn. Remedy.
You're like money. And Remedy at the same time, when it comes to PlayStation for Control being on PlayStation Plus, they're like money because PlayStation have paid them to get allowed to go on PlayStation Plus for free.
Let's move on because fuck.
So. You remember you couldn't one of the stories out. So
that's true, but I still want to finish the podcast on Thursday.
You're ruining the mythos. Oh, Foxes did that last week.
Yeah, I did. Pokemon Presents 2021. Everything announced, including Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And on Bankhurst over IGN. And again, I think I'm just going to go through. I'm going to say things. I'm going to let Moody talk. So, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes have been announced. They're coming this year. It wasn't developed by Game Freak, instead being made by ILCA Inc., who have worked on Pokemon Home and have supported such titles as Nier Automata and Yakuza 0. But the original Diamond and Pearl director will be directing these games.
I know this game's getting a little bit of a controversy around just because of its visual look and everything like that. I think it looks visually nice. I'm thinking, oh, that looks so cute. It looks so adorable. I'm just like, I like it. I'm like, yes, it's what we were. That's what all the rumors were, that at least they were getting remakes of Diamond and Pearl, which they are doing. And I like the look of it. I'm just like, I'm gonna get my bad boy Chimchar. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it's just they're just remaking it in the same fashion they did Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu a couple of years ago.
No, Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are completely different to this.
Well, they look pretty similar. I've just opened the thing. The first thing that came up was, divided over the graphics.
Why? Yeah, Let's Go and
it's 20. Yeah. What? How long ago was this released?
15 years ago.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Just fucking hell, people.
People, I think, are complaining that it doesn't look like
the last,
like the Sword and Shield, or doesn't look like Let's Go, or something like that. And I'm just like, it looks. That's their decision. That's what they wanted to do. You don't have the choice here. This is the thing that big. Well, I'm getting sick of people thinking you are not entitled to this. They make the decision what they want the graphics to be like. Get the hell over it. You're gonna buy it either way. You proved that with Sword and Shield, with the controversy over that, and it was one of the best-selling Pokemon games out there. I love the look of it. I can't wait for this. Chimchar for the win.
Yep, cool. I have no horse in this race.
Easy 15 points, Amy, for me on OpenCritic.
I might try it, but yeah, I'm just not that big into Pokemon.
It's not your jam, Amy. Not your jam.
I don't know if
whatsoever.
it's my jam. That's the thing. My first Pokemon, my first proper like RPG experience was Pokemon Sword, and I was like, it's fine, but meh.
Well, hopefully, we'll be together, living together, and then you can see. Well, I'll stream it, and we'll have a look on it and everything like that.
Well, I'm interested in this next one, which is the Pokemon Legends Arceus,
the god of Pokemon.
Which is like an open world game that everybody's comparing Breath of the Wild because it's got trees and grass.
Yeah.
That's it.
Basically, yeah. This was very intriguing. Like they're going in a different direction, like they've never done before, which is very intriguing. I'm intrigued. I was disappointed with the choice of starters they picked. Personally, I like Cyndaquil, but the other two, I'm just like, all right.
Rowlet and Oshawott.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Rowlet. He's all right, and Oshawott's a pain in the ass.
I like
Never
Sobble.
watched the black and white anime version. It's a terrible anime version, but no, yeah. This is what people have been wanting. This type of thing, something different, something new, and it's looking like it's going for it. I think a lot of people. I think a lot of the main critics out there and everything like that have all said that this was probably meant to be 2021, but because of COVID and everything like that, they've had to push it back, along with that Shining Diamond and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and everything. So Brilliant Diamond and Pearl remakes are probably going to come out later this year, like November, say October, November time.
Be November, maybe December. That's when Eevee and Pikachu came out.
Yeah, and
that's when Sword and Shield.
Legend says early 2022. I'm guessing they'll be out before April. Yeah, probably March. Before. Yeah. So
with the shiny 4K console.
You know how Amy, that with Breath of the Wild too. That's a lethal combination.
It's a lethal combination.
That's a lethal combination. But we all know, ladies and gentlemen, Pokemon, even when it has bad press, quote unquote bad press, it sells like crazy either way. So I think people have got to remember how
focus on the positives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know what? There, thank you for keeping me straight there. Yeah, keeping me straight on, keeping me staying on target there. Yeah, I'm happy. I like the look of this. It's something new. It's something different. I hope it goes. I hope it's what they're wanting. The game freak and everything like that. And I hope they've got thrown out a great idea. Cyndaquil for the win, ladies and gentlemen.
Fair enough. I liked Sobble until they evolved, and then I was like, "What the fuck have they done to my child?"
Sobble. Which one's
I think that was a War starter and Sword, right? Sobble? That's the name. Am I just like?
Oh, was that is that the blue frog looking one?
Yeah, the water starter.
Oh yeah.
Because I picked Sobble because Sobble was adorable, and then Sobble evolved into a fucking emo teenager, and I was like, I'm done with this game.
I don't mind his final form or anything like that.
Secret agent. No, that was worse.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. The one I was big worried about, because I always start with the grass starter, because Bulbasaur for the win, ladies and gentlemen. You always start with the
420
grass
Blazer.
Yeah, I'm 9 times out of 10 with the grass starter, and I've enjoyed the grass starter. I enjoyed the grass starter, funnily enough, all the way up until Diamond and Pearl's the grass starter, because the grass starter for Diamond and Pearl was just like, oh my god, he looks so adorable, and then he evolved. And then he evolved to a final form. Oh my god, what the hell have they done to you? But either way, yeah, it's the same thing for me. But yeah, I was the who was I? I was the rabbit one.
Skull Bunny.
Skull Bunny, yeah, I was Skull Bunny.
Skull Bunny.
Yeah, so
I'll give this one. I like this one interests me more because
fair.
than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Just because it's like I'm intrigued by the idea of like a proper open world in a Pokemon game and like what they could do with that. Because like the fields in Pokemon Sword were kind of annoying. Like for me personally, I was like, this is really a bit annoying.
That's fair.
Like cycling around and trying to like catch this Pokemon or do this, and then you'd go into the raid battles and then like they were really easy. I don't know. I never got to the end though, so like I don't know what the crack was.
Sword and Shield are the easiest ones ever.
And then I found a Snorlax, and Snorlax just went, nah, mate. Woof. Oh shit! I wanted to catch that one. I know Snorlax from Smash Brothers.
Snorlax is arguably one of the best ones to catch, though, as well. He's so just because of the moves he can get.
I hated that as well. You have to hit the Pokemon and do damage to them, but not too much damage that you knock them out. But
yeah, they
enough
really
damage
do need to change
so
that.
that you can they'll stay in the Pokeball if you catch them. Like, just let me fucking throw a Pokeball at a motherfucker, for God's sake.
Yeah, you can throw it anytime you want. It's just you need to weaken it. For me, it should just be allowed just to knock it out and then throw it, because I'm just gonna say, on the anime, he knocks them out.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I've KO'd a Pokemon, I wouldn't even need to throw it. I'd just like scoop it up and then shut the thing. Like, the amount of times I accidentally did too much damage to a Pokemon, I was fucking Christ's sake. I'll fucking get you one of these days. Let's move on.
Let's move on to
this is the so the way I've structured this the stories of this podcast. It looks like a shit sandwich. If you imagine like the best bread you ever had in your entire life. Maybe not that good, but you get the point. Like really good bread, but then the middle is just made of shit. We're into the shit part of the shit sandwich now.
Let's get through this shit. Let's get through this shit. But this is important shit to talk about.
It is. I don't want to dismiss it or like be talked down about it, but it is great. Hogwarts Legacy to include trans-inclusive character creation. Now, listen to what I'm going to say through the story, because I've just realised I've just put that in as shit sandwich part. Trust me. I know it sounds good. This is from Nicole Carpenter over at Polygon, who writes, a new Bloomberg report suggests Hogwarts Legacy, an open-world Harry Potter role-playing game that I've talked far too much about this year, will have an inclusive character creator allowing players to choose voice and body type unrelated to gender. The character creator will allow players to choose one of two options, Witch or Wizard, which will put players in one of two domes. This decision, however, has no bearing on what character is created. Voice and body type are not tied to gender. An inclusive character creator in Hogwarts Legacy is noteworthy due to Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's history of transphobia. Over the past year, Rowling has made a number of transphobic comments on social media and in her blog. Harry Potter actors Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson are among the many celebrities that have denounced Rowling's view. Controversy continued to follow Harry Potter Legacy into 2021 when journalist Liam Robertson published a Twitter thread about Hogwarts Legacy lead designer Troy Leavitt. Let me just breathe. Leavitt reportedly once hosted a YouTube channel stocked with far-right content and pro-Gamergate videos. Popular gaming forum ResetEra has since banned promotional media threads for Hogwarts Legacy, disallowing announcement, trailers, or quote hype threads. On Twitter, Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier said that some Legacy developers are, quote, sad and frustrated as development of the game started long before Rowling's anti-trans crusade, end quote. Hogwarts Legacy developers reportedly fought to add an inclusive character creator and a transgender character, according to the report. Management reportedly resisted, but currently the character customization is included in the game. Bloomberg wrote.
This is literally just slapping a band-aid over a bloody wound that's still bleeding out and everything. Okay, this is something, I guess, but I'm just going to say what I said in our chat.
Something.
Yeah. This doesn't fix the problem. The problem being that just J.K. Rowling is still making a profit of this game. There might be the barest thread of inclusion, but that doesn't negate the fact that it directly supports a transphobe who spreads and funds bigotry with her wealth
And clout.
Yeah, I'll say I feel for the developers for this. Like it says at the end of the thing, this game was in development way before J.K. Rowling decided to turn into Voldemort.
Well, before she started crusading, I'm sure she's been Voldemort for a very long time.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, it's okay. But it's just even worse when you hear the management reportedly resisted this.
See, here's where it's like, hey, here's a good thing. It's like, is it a good thing though? Because when Jason adds on to this, like for starters, developers reportedly fought to add an inclusive character creator and a transgender character. You'll notice the transgender character appears to have gone missing at some point. Management reportedly resisted. So this isn't really just about J.K. Rowling, is it? Management resisted this. Tells me everything I need to know. Those.
Oh, they have a far right idiot on
those 3 words. Management reportedly resisted. All right then, cool. Fuck you then, I guess. Like, do I feel for the developers who don't want to make a game like that is associated with people like Troy Leavitt and J.K. Rowling? Yeah, I guess I do. Does that move me to even consider No, I'm not going to check this game out. Like, for multiple reasons at this point. Pile on top of one after the other. The character customizer isn't actually in the game. It's planned. Like, it's currently in the plan for the game. We'll see if it actually has one, considering management apparently doesn't want it in there. 2022 rolls around, we'll see where we're at.
Gonna be an interesting one. It really is gonna be an interesting one. Either way, we already know this game's gonna sell like crazy. We know this is
definitely.
That's just from the casual gamers, and I don't blame the casual gamers because they don't keep involved in the news compared to what we do or anything like that. They're just hoping to play. I'll say right now, they're hoping to play a game that I always wanted to be able to play, to go to Hogwarts as my own character, learning the spells and doing all like that. I'll hold my hand up for that. Everything makes it. She's making it incredibly difficult to make me want to do that. I've always said on multiple occasions that I'm a person who you can separate the art from the person, but there are levels and lines that are now hitting that that's just making it difficult even for me to do that. And I'm just like, I've said before, and I'll say it again, I probably will not be touching this game. Which sucks, because I want to support the developers, but I don't want to support management or her, or where is his name? Troy Leavitt.
Troy Leavitt.
Troy Leavitt, yeah. It's just like, come
developers
on,
are going to get paid.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
the
they
developers
have
are getting
been
paid.
They're getting paid as we speak and everything like that. Yeah,
That's as much as they're gonna get. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get paid for a job, and it sucks that the game. Like I said, it sucks for them that the game has been embroiled in all of this.
yeah.
But like Harry Potter's continued popularity will continue to fuel J.K. Rowling's level of influence in the UK. A place in which the media publishes anti-transgender stories on a daily basis. That's not hyperbole. Literally on a daily basis.
Yeah, she's threatened to sue someone, I believe, who's called her out for shit. Because she's saying this is inaccurate, and I'm just like, no, it isn't.
She's been cancelled, right? Somehow, apparently,
Yeah.
cancelled.
Cancelled, yeah.
Cancelled means they're making the next Fantastic Beasts movie, and Hogwarts Legacy's a thing, and everybody's bending over backwards to try and justify being able to buy it, and it's just like, whatever. She's a terrible person. Harry Potter's not that. Harry Potter's pretty problematic on its own. Like, I you know what? You do some research about H.P. Lovecraft, and you bump into other examples of problematic content in popular stories. Harry Potter's not that great for a lot of things. And I'm tired of living in the UK.
I'll just say one thing before we move on to the next one. Go and check out Laura Kate Dale's Twitter about this. She lays it all out perfectly, ladies and gentlemen, if you are contemplating getting this or not. Lays it out perfectly. Go and check her out. Read it. Don't bitch at her.
I mean, it's Twitter.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's Twitter. Let's stay on target, Amy, and let's get on to the next story.
Yeah, I want to stay on target. I have a lot of thoughts for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah.
And like I was talking about this with one of my trans friends, where it's just like I shouldn't have to justify myself in defending myself, if that makes sense. I mean, the main one, the main thing, because obviously this has been a thing ongoing for fucking ages, and I'm sick of it getting dredged up every 2 weeks. But hey, here we are. The main thing goes back to the Twitter thread, the short Twitter rant that I went on last month, maybe the month before. You still had Twitter at the time, so like maybe a couple of months ago.
Oh, did it? Okay, yeah. Oh, was this when it was a Harry Potter thing again?
Yeah. When I made those tweets about it was when
yeah.
the TV show was being rumored, and
Yeah. I was still on there.
I ran into like those podcasts where it was just like, oh great, this is the worst possible way you could have this discussion, and I got angry and I tweeted about it, and
you never get angry and tweet. That's the one thing I've noticed that.
No, see, this is my point, right? Because I didn't. It's not like I just hit send tweet, right? Like people saw those tweets before I tweeted them, and I even edited them before I tweeted them. But it's just like I have a right to defend myself, but for some reason, I'm made to feel a lot of the time like I don't have a right to defend myself.
Yeah,
and that's one of the worst parts about all of this for me personally. Because like someone I respect will DM me a really shitty DM, or someone I thought was my friend would unfollow me on Twitter, but like around about the same time I say these things, and it puts the seed of doubt in my mind that I should just shut up, and then I have to talk to my trans friends who will say, no, don't shut up. That would be the worst thing you could do.
Never shut up. Never shut up.
So
I apologize before I was meaning when I said never tweet angry. That's just me in general. That's just me. What I've gone through personally is like
no,
God, I've tweeted angrily, and I've felt not like I haven't. What I'm saying isn't right or wrong or anything like that. It's just
none of
it doesn't make it for me. It never made my life not easy. I was just going more and more in my head and everything. When you have nothing but the right to defend yourself, Amy, and Yeah, anyone starts on you, like I'll be there. I'll be there to drop kick him right in the freaking face. So.
No, none of it was obviously
I know,
to
but
do with you. Like there's
I know.
like let's just say I've in the past few months, in some regards, I've definitely learned who my friends are. In some ways, you're one of them. We're gonna skip this Vampire the Masquerade story. I hate the shit sandwich already. Less than 15% of Twitch user reports last year led to enforcement actions. This is from Brendan Sinclair over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, Twitch is committing to regularly releasing data on its community moderation and safety efforts, beginning with yesterday's release of the streaming service's first global transparency report. Quote, creating a transparency report is an important measure of our accountability. It requires being honest about the obstacles we face and how we are working to resolve them to improve safety on Twitch. Moving forward, we'll be releasing 2 transparency reports a year so we can track our progress as a community, end quote. The report laid out a number of processes, policies, and features Twitch has implemented on this front, such as the auto mod tool that streamers can set up to pre-screen user chat and automatically block certain words and phrases. Throughout 2020, human moderation was a more popular option than auto mod, but most channels, 93% in the first half of 2020 and 96% in the second half, had one or both forms of moderation. Twitch's report also addressed user reports of violations, noting that there were a total of 13.3 million reports across the service in 2020, which works out to about 0.75 reports for every 1,000 hours of content watched on Twitch. However, these reports don't always lead to action. Twitch reported 1.99 million enforcement actions taken in 2020, from warnings to temporary suspensions to indefinite suspensions. That works out at less than 15% of all reports that led to enforcement, but those numbers don't necessarily consider the impact of multiple reports made about the same incident or enforcements that came about from Twitch's machine detection of harmful content rather than a user report. Excuse me a sec. There we go.
Bless you.
Thank you. One thing that seems clear is not all types of report are equally likely to lead to enforcement. Twitch gave exact figures for the number of enforcement actions taken in each category, but did not give the exact number of reports in each. Accountability. Instead, it included a bar graph with a breakdown of the categories that gives enough information for some rough maths. The most frequently reported category of offence, and far and away the most likely to lead to consequences, was, quote, viewbotting, spam, and other community violations. There were roughly 6.6 million reports in the category last year and 1.72 million enforcements, so as much as 26% of reports were acted upon. The next most common category of user report was for hateful conduct, sexual harassment, and harassment. Twitch's graph suggests it received roughly 3.9 million reports in that category over the course of 2020, but just 80,767, about 2%, received so much as a warning. Twitch failing to act on reports of sexual harassment and misconduct on the platform and in the workplace was a recurring theme of a report GamesIndustry.biz ran last year based on interviews and personal accounts from those who worked or appeared on the platform.
Twitch, you suck.
2%.
Twitch, you suck.
If you go to GamesIndustry.biz and you search the headline, less than 15%. Hang on, let me get it. Less than 50% of Twitch user reports last year led to enforcement actions. There's, like, it breaks down a lot of the different categories. I really just wanted to focus on the one that's been the biggest problem as far as, like, Twitch has, just in general, which is harassment, sexual harassment, and hateful abuse.
Yep.
And about 2% received as much of a warning.
Amount of times I see a video of a female streamer who's someone chats, as you said, show breasts or show cleavage. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, seriously. I'm just like, lose hope in humanity sometimes. I'm just like, dudes, guys, come on, like, seriously. Oh, you children. But this the worst thing is, it's like, Twitch, but 2%? 2% Twitch. Are you... You're owned by one of the biggest companies in the world, who, I'm not going to lie, they aren't the greatest either. Come on. Come on, this is disgusting. Oh, we do more for if you bottom spamming or other community violations. But if it comes to hateful conduct, sexual harassment, and harassment, we're okay with that, and we just do it because to do something to try and stop it. It was like, come on, 2%,
So
2%.
viewbotting spam, right? Viewbotting and spam. We that's the one we deal with the most, right? I think that's the one every Twitch channel deals with the most in terms of sheer volume of spam bots turning up to your Twitch channel being like, "Hey, do you want to be famous?" Like, no, fuck off. 1.72 million enforcements of viewbotting, spam, and other community violations. 80,000 of hateful conduct, sexual harassment, and harassment.
They even get to bloody six figures,
which is
would
a
still
much
be bad
bigger problem. Like, I know, right? By sheer numbers, there are more reports of viewbotting spams, etc., than there are of hateful conduct, sexual harassment, and harassment. It's very easy to block a viewbot or a spam. Like someone spamming, "Hey, do you want to buy followers in Twitch chat?" Than it is like if you're being the target of hateful harassment, sexual harassment. And as someone who has experienced both on Twitch, like, one is a lot worse than the other. So maybe like whatever moderation teams you've got in place, Twitch, for deciding, you know, how you enforce these things on those two categories, maybe flip them. Let's get 1.72 million enforcements on hateful conduct, sexual harassment, and the fucking thing moved. And harassment. Maybe let's get 1.72 million enforcements on that instead of on viewbots and spam. Because, like, I've seen myself and other people go through that stuff. It's not something you should want on your site, but you actually have to put in the effort to get rid of it.
Yeah, like what was it? We got bombed in our Discord.
We did. No, in Discord. Yeah,
during Among Us, and it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting just hearing all the things that we were hearing and everything, and it just like we've said multiple times, like Among Us Saturdays for us and all our friends, it's an amazing time. We get excited for it because it's a great time to hang out just with friends and have some amazing fun. And when that happened, we all said, just sucked the energy, enthusiasm right out of the whole thing. And we all just literally like, yeah, we're done for the night. We're done. Let's just get off. We hope. And thankfully, it's been all sorted by blocking everyone and everything and getting it all sorted through all the moderators. I know you're a moderator on that Discord and everything. But, it sucked the light out of it. And
none of it was targeted at us. It was...
Yeah.
It was racist harassment and racist abuse.
Yeah,
and you know, they're like, I don't know whether it is luckily enough, but there was no one. There was no one who that abuse was. There was no one who that abuse was targeted at in the Discord voice. Like, I mean, hey, I've been on the receiving end of enough abuse that is directed at me. To develop a thick enough skin, but just because I have a thick skin doesn't mean it's fine.
Good.
You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with it. Like, Twitch can fucking deal with it. Twitch should fucking deal with it.
Yeah. Twitch is the biggest streaming platform out there when it comes to video games. And to put to stream the games and everything like that, they are, and we all know they are. And it's just like, for you to only do 2% is an absolute disgrace. It is a disgusting disgrace. And you really need to do better, Twitch. You need to do better.
Yes. We're almost through the shit sandwich. Almost back to the bread. EA bans a FIFA player for life after racist abuse of ex-footballer Ian Wright. This is from Chris Hull over at Engadget. He writes, EA has banned a FIFA player for life after he sent racist messages to a former soccer player. Patrick O'Brien lost an Ultimate Team game with a virtual version of Ian Wright, which led to the teenager sending 20 abusive messages to Wright over Instagram last May. O'Brien was charged over the incident. While he pled guilty, a judge spared the Irish 18-year-old from a criminal conviction last month. The judge acknowledged O'Brien showed legitimate remorse. He apologised to Wright and made a donation to the Irish Network Against Racism. Although Wright forgave O'Brien, he expressed disappointment in the outcome. Quote, "Seeing this judgment, I can only wonder what deterrent there is for anyone else who spouts this kind of vile racist abuse," Wright, a retired player who won the Premier League with Arsenal, wrote on Twitter. "An individual wished death upon me because of my skin colour. No judge's claims of naivety or immaturity will ever be acceptable to us." End quote. Although O'Brien won't spend time in prison over his messages, he's dealing with the consequences of his actions elsewhere after his permanent ban from FIFA games. Quote, "We hugely value Wright's partnership and support, and we also want him to know he has our support," EA's FIFA brand vice president David Jackson told Eurogamer. "This behaviour by the player was unacceptable on every level, and we will not tolerate it. Our positive player charter guides our actions in a situation like this, and we've taken the action to ban the player permanently from playing or accessing our games. Racism must stop. We are committed to continuing our work in positive play through actions that will make our communities fun, fair, and safe for everyone." End quote. In his podcast, well, everyone has a podcast, Wright praised EA for sending a message that, quote, "whether it's race, religion, sex, whatever, no discrimination will be tolerated." End quote.
Idiot. That's just disgusting, man. Like, yeah. This is twice as we've talked about this type of thing. EA banned an idiot. What, last year we talked about who was telling his fans to go and bully and threaten the developer of
FIFA. Yeah.
And they had an idiot like that.
It was
and
the
now
community manager.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
I think it rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do 50 of these a year, so it can be hard to keep track sometimes.
No doubt about it. And now you got this. This is like, come on, man. Wow, okay, you lost the game. Which is just a game, by the way. And Ian Wright had nothing to do with it. That's what even makes it even more, just blows my mind. The guy, if Ian Wright, the former football player, had nothing to do about this game. Yes, he's sold on his like for EA. EA obviously contacted him for that type of thing, but other than that,
I doubt Ian Wright personally has anything to do with that. But
yeah, this is disgusting, and I'll say this like this. Yeah, we're all like, it was like an up and down thing last year when it came to EA. Like, sometimes we're saying, "Yeah, well done." Then it was sometimes saying, "You idiots." And this is a part I'm just going to say, well done, EA. And you should. This is a thing that shouldn't happen.
EA No, well, EA managed to fucking do a better job than, the Irish judge. The justice system. Apparently, apparently EA is more, takes a harder stance against racism than the justice system. Do you ever just say things and then realize what you said and then just think about, if you, we could have made society anything we wanted and we have free will and we chose this.
You kind of you just want to look up and say, "Your God." You want to go and say, "Your God, are you sure you made us in your image?"
An existential
Should
crisis.
we be worried about you, sir? And everything.
I don't understand how those dots get connected.
Yeah.
For this to happen in the first place. But, I don't understand people who are racist. So I don't understand step one. Never mind all of the other steps. Good on EA for sticking to their positive.
I'm curious how they're going to be able to do this, because obviously you can create another account. But
we
said that, but I said the same thing with the other guy. So, and he's banned still, I believe.
IP bans. I don't know how it works. Wizardry, sorcery, magic. Like video games themselves, they're created by magic and sorcery.
Or maybe by law, he has to send EA saying, "This is my account." And if he creates a new one and hides it, he can go back to E. Maybe he can go to jail or get fined for it. Maybe there's something that he's had to agree to. I don't know, but Patrick O'Brien, don't be a douche. Idiot. Are we out of the shit?
Yeah, we're
shit
out of the
part?
shit
We're out of the shit part, Amy. We're out of the shit part. Oh, yeah. Let's get going, Amy.
Aliens Fireteam is a co-op shooter about surviving a Xenomorph attack. This is from Andrew Webster over at The Verge. He writes, the next Alien video game will be cooperative. Today, a developer called Iron Studios revealed Aliens Fireteam, a multiplayer third-person shooter about surviving an onslaught of xenomorphs set a few decades after the original Alien films. Fireteam is a class-based shooter where players take on roles like gunner, demolisher, or technician, and Cold Iron says there will be a huge range of enemies to take on, including 11 types of xenomorphs, as well as some of those pesky Weyland-Yutani synthetics. Here's the basic premise. Set 23 years after the original Alien trilogy. Yeah. Resurrection never happened. Aliens Fireteam drops players into the role of a colonial marine aboard the USS Endeavour, recently tasked with answering a distress call from the outer colonies. Deploy to overrun facilities, abandoned ruins, and strange alien landscapes as you battle terrifying enemies across 4 campaigns with 2 friends or AI teammates.
Okay.
You
One thing
go
first.
first. You go first.
Can I go first?
I have a question. You go
Can
first.
can I do one thing that I don't think I've ever really done on this podcast whatsoever? Geek out a bit.
Yeah, sure.
Aliens, 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 aliens. Wait. Whoa. Oh, aliens, the greatest universe of all time. Yes. Yes. Okay, I've let that out, Amy. I've let that out. Okay, this looked good. I have to admit the trailer I thought looked good. I enjoyed the look of the trailer. I was very intrigued by it. I was thinking, wait. Ripley and the Xenomorph are joining Fortnite, and so this comes out like a week after it. Coincidence?
Yes.
I think not. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I really enjoyed the announcement. I enjoyed the look. I think the look's very intriguing. I've already spoken to Foxes. I'm just like, you mean Amy? Yeah, you mean Foxes Amy? Yeah, you mean Foxes Amy?
Oh, yeah.
I'll buy it twice. I'll buy you if I have to on PC. I don't mind.
Hold on, let me rephrase that then. Oh, well, I wasn't going to, but if you're going to buy it for me, then I guess...
I do not mind to do that. I do not care whatsoever.
Just maybe remember that I don't have the greatest PC, so PC might be a bit iffy for me as a platform to play this on.
It's fine. It's fine, Amy. It's fine. It's fine, Amy. I'm only buying you the game, not a bloody another graphics card. But no,
what I'm saying is, you buy me the game on,
Well, if it's cross-platform, cross-play and everything, then yes.
Maybe I'm going to put it right. You don't need to buy me the fucking game.
Good. Okay then. Now, yes, let's have the caveat here. We did have Aliens Colonial Marines.
God, it always comes back to Aliens Colonial.
It always will. It always will. I'm not going to lie. But we did also have Alien Isolation, which was an incredibly great game. So I am hoping it's going to be on the same level of Alien Isolation, whereas especially with the Alien AI. The Alien AI in that game was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I am happy about this. I am excited. Summertime, not far away.
Summertime.
So it's going to be literally at the end of August, and then that's still technically summer. So, but no, I think I just hope this is a game that can keep up with certain things. Like they've got a good amount of levels. Apparently, there's a story in this, but and I think I'm going to be very intrigued what's going to happen with this game. I hope it doesn't die on arrival. But this has got a lot of love and a lot of hype. That shows Aliens are still very much loved out there, ladies and gentlemen.
What's with Left 4 Dead coming back all of a sudden?
I know. Everyone's been saying that. This is a lot Left 4 Dead, just with aliens.
Like, what's with Left 4 Dead suddenly being popular again?
Yeah.
Because Back 4 Blood is a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And now this is a thing. And it's not I'm not complaining. I loved Left 4 Dead, but it's it's just weird. Left 4 Dead was 12 years ago now.
They're ready to bring it back. They're ready to bring it back anyway.
What took you guys so long? I suffer through so many annoying trends.
That's it. Landscape terrifying enemies across 4 campaigns with 2 friends or AI. Am I? Okay, yeah. That's 3 people, yeah. Okay. Thought I didn't count. Thought I didn't thought I didn't read that right. Don't look at me like that.
You know, I read it out loud, right?
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about E3.
Do we have to? E3's 2021 live event has been cancelled, LA City documents claim. This is from Andy Robinson over at Video Games Chronicle. He writes, in a new report published by the Board of Los Angeles Convention and Tourism Development Commission, a sales update lists E3 2021 as a cancelled live event. The document states that the convention board is working with E3 organizer, the Entertainment Software Association, on broadcast options at the Los Angeles Convention Center and the nearby LA Live complex. The City Board also claims it's working on a 2022 and 2023 license for E3. The cancellation would mark the second year in a row the E3 event has been called off due to the coronavirus pandemic. As exclusively revealed by VGC last month, the ESA has been pushing forward with plans for a digital E3 event this summer, but it still requires the backing of major games companies. I don't know. I mean, you say called off, and I say, was this ever really a thing?
It's the thing that we all thought was going to happen.
Like,
Let's go to a digital event. We all knew this, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't believe for a second that anybody was seriously planning E3 2021 to be a convention, an in-person convention.
Yeah.
I just don't, and no one will convince me that someone was doing that.
That's true. This is the thing about it. It's so crazy. It's like, we don't, if all things, quote unquote, go right for us over here, we won't be fully opening up and going back to kind of quote unquote normal until June. So if it happened, if they did the same, they wouldn't be opening up until June anyway, so no one would be able to get there. So it doesn't make a bloody difference.
Unless you live in Texas.
That's right. That's right.
Boo, Texas. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Boo, the people who are in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of people in Texas who are nice.
That's
fine.
fair.
And even if you're a dick, you don't deserve to be killed by your own state government being morons.
Yeah, but they voted for him, so.
No, not even then.
I'm joking. Or am I?
Yeah, this was never a serious thing. I don't care what anyone says. Like, to spin it as, this would be the second year in a row the E3 event has been called off due to the coronavirus pandemic. Well, technically correct. Like, I don't believe it was ever truly called on. So
they were hoping. Their hopes died like a fart in a hurricane.
I told
You did?
I said it, and I wasn't the only one. I'm not going to say I was the only person on social media saying, problems aren't going to magically disappear at midnight on January 1st, 2021. Crazy, right? Last news story. Sony's
because everyone was watching Endgame then and timed it on time when Tony started that, so they all thought, we are free.
Look, optimism
we're all in
is
a
great.
lockdown again, you free idiots.
Optimism is great, right? But you know what's better than optimism during a global pandemic which has killed hundreds of thousands of people? Realism. Realism is better right now. So, I'm sorry, it just is. Sony's latest patent application, a banana PlayStation controller. If you think you know where this is going, trust me, you don't. This is from ONS over Polygon, who writes, Sony Interactive Entertainment has filed a patent application to use a banana for a PlayStation controller. The patent, inspired by GamesIndustry.biz on Tuesday, is actually for a method that turns, quote, a non-luminous passive object being held by a user into a controller, recognizing virtual button locations on it, with a banana used as the illustrated example. Sony's idea would conceivably work with anything in the user's hands, whether a coffee mug, a book, a package of cold cuts, or a tube of preparation H. Quote, it would be desirable if a user could use an inexpensive, simple, and non-electronic device as a video game peripheral, says the patent application. In the example Sony provides, players could grasp one or two bananas oranges, or other inanimate objects and move them about, effectively using them as one or two analog sticks. In another illustration, virtual buttons are mapped onto a banana, which suggests a virtual reality headset might be involved too. I almost got through the whole thing. Oh, you gotta give it up. This is fun.
You have to laugh.
It's genius though. Like,
Yes.
you could sell me a £60 controller, right? Like, you could sell me this £60 controller. Or I could just pick up, I don't know, my Sherlock diary that I hate and use it as a controller. And I love the idea of like playing a VR game and just holding two bananas in my hands while I'm playing like Blood and Truth. Reach for the sky, motherfucker!
Is that a banana? No, motherfucker. It's gone. Don't you see that?
Just start throwing apples. Like, ah. It's a great. That's just great. I love weird patterns.
Let's do it. You do. You like the funny weirdness. But it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for games out next week. March 8th, There Is Nothing. March 9th, Strongholds, Warlords for PC. Besieged Great Karns. The Imperial Warlords and Shogun Commanders in Stronghold Warlords. The latest castle sim from Firefly Studios. Command AR warlords across the battlefield as you build a castle economy and new gunpowder fueled siege and engines. Apex Legends, Nintendo Switch. I am not right saying the rest. You know what that game is. There's Nothing coming out March 10th. March 11th, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game for PC, PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox X and S, the Xbox One, and Google Stadia. Who remembers Google Stadia? Across is Super again, the official video game of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship is back with its 4th edition, the most extreme ever. And There's Nothing coming out March 12th.
Next week is going to be the perfect time for me to try and finish Persona 5 Strikers.
I have that game on the way.
Or Bravely Default 2, or both.
Could be interesting, yeah.
That's only like 80 hours.
That's only one of the games.
There's more than that in a week. No, thankfully, it's both.
It's time for OpenCritic head-to-head.
Fine. I was going to keep talking, but fine. This is the game every single week where we sit down to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever guesses closest gets 1 point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, myself, Moody, and Foxes all tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Maquette, which at the time I didn't know was going to be a PS Plus game. I was already really excited to play it because it looked really interesting.
So you got it for free.
And I got it for free.
Free, yeah.
Like, considering I couldn't get Final Fantasy VII Remake because I already owned it. I hate it when that happens. When the big PS Plus game, and it's like, I already own that, though. That's annoying. Where was I? Yes, Maquette. I guessed it would get an 82. Moody guessed it would get a 70. Foxes guessed it would get an 80 at the time of recording. And I know for the last 2 weeks in a row, I've said at the time of writing, like
it's still 71.
We don't write, and you know what, really, at the time where I sit down to make these show notes, stop checking OpenCritic.
I'm not checking anything.
It's got a 71, which gives Moody a point, which puts the scores at Amy 2, Moody 2, Fox's 0, with the caveat that Fox has missed 6 weeks worth of predictions and 1 draw. This week's game, because we had so many to choose from, Strongholds Warlords coming to whatever platforms Moody said that was coming to.
PC.
When Moody was doing his thing and I wasn't listening. While you think, I had a question for you.
Yes. Question me up.
Review aggregates. Now, you know I don't put much stock into scores as it is, right? Like,
That's true.
I don't really like them. They're just good for games that we play.
Yep.
I get annoyed because sometimes it really does feel like an average indie game will get a much lower OpenCritic average than an average AAA game. Like, if they're both around about the same level of averageness, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, the AAA game will be around about the 80s, and the indie game will be around about the 70s.
Yeah.
Because people apparently are scared. I don't know. Is that the right word? To review the AAA games too negatively in terms of the scores, I guess. Say whatever you want in the words because they don't read them. I saw you, Supergiant Games. I'm going to keep bringing it up. I saw you scrolling through all those reviews to get to the scores. It's not a serious question. I'm not trying to start a discussion. I just want to know. It was just an observation.
What, the game developers actually like just the number involved in the written review?
No, the observation of indie games getting lower scores than AAA games of similar quality.
So this is a very quiet week, like an incredibly quiet week. Like, wow.
Great week to launch a retrospective video.
Perfect time, yeah. There's no doubt about it. What am I going to pick here? It's very intriguing because I'm looking at the Chronicle scores here for the other games.
Oh man,
they're all very topsy turvy here. Hear me? They're all very topsy turvy. The one that I like the most, the original one, is an 81 on Metacritic. Oh well, I would rate it like a 100 laser down because that's just like a great game. Stronghold Crusaders only a 78, which is not bad. But then Crusaders 2, 65. Then you got Stronghold 3, which is a 47. And there's you got Stronghold 2, that's a 63. So like the Strongholds have dived in the ratings here. So I'm not really sure where
73.
I'm going to go here.
There we go. I'm just going to say mine.
What are you saying?
I'm saying 73.
Oh, did I bore you there?
Yes.
All right. This has never happened before, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I've whined on before, talking about a score I'm about to predict, and she normally lets me go, and now she's not letting me go. That's weird. That's okay, me.
Maybe I'm just sick of you going first every week, even though it's my game and they're my rules.
That's true. 72.
That's a sensible place to put it.
It's going to be fucking 74, isn't it?
I hope so. I hope so. No, you know what? I hope it gets a 99.
I hope it does as well, because I'm thinking of buying this now, so...
I hope every game gets amazing, is amazing, and does amazing, and everybody says it's amazing. Apart from capital G gamers, I don't care what they say or think. That's it for this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to end it, and then I'm going to convince Moody to quickly record a drop-in for the beginning of the podcast where I explain that we've deleted a bit because it was shit. So we decided not to go with it. And then I'm going to go and play Bravely Default 2 until I pass out on my bed because I got to wake up early tomorrow. Because I always do these days, which is fucking annoying. But I don't want to complain too much about my day job because I like to pretend I don't have one for the sake of social media. So pretend I didn't say any of that. Keep an eye out for the weekly review next week, though, because I am going to be talking about my cat.
Yes, you are.
Played it, finished it. Bravely Default 2, and I might play something else because I have Sunday as well.
Yeah, hopefully I will get into Bravely Default 2.
I hope so, considering you were giving me shit in the last episode of the weekly review about playing it, and then I've gone out of my way to play it, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll
Or
play it.
I talk about a 2013 game called Stronghold HD, what I'm about to buy for £3.49.
Started that podcast because you like playing new games as much as me. And you're just doing a key for me now. We've been playing.
I'm also buying another game as well.
I've been playing Civilization 5.
I'm also buying Loop Hero.
Oh, wait, are you buying it on Steam?
Yes.
Interesting. I was going to buy it, but I don't have any money. So I was like, I'll just leave that one a couple of weeks and then maybe like come back to it. But if you're going to buy it and we've got Steam share, and I stay up way later than you every day.
You do.
Interesting.
You know
I
what I mean?
might
It's
be able
bought.
to do it. I might look at that then. Because I've got like £20+ of PS5 gift card, not gift card, like credit.
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh, Loop Hero looks cool. It's not on PlayStation. Thanks, guys.
But you do now got it, Amy, so that's all good. Bye, everybody.
Oh, yeah, let's get out of here.
Much love.